Good evening, guys. A lovely evening from Africa. I mean, have you ever had a siesta in the middle of nowhere, only to wake up to start thinking to yourself, do I really have friends? I think I don't have friends, but the question is, do I really have friends? You see, this for me, it's a little bit of a controversial topic. Because when I do hear people saying, I don't have friends, I think we have to really learn to put that into context. I think social media has a role to play in all of these things. Now, to understand my point of view, you need to understand how friends are actually made online and how you get to meet friends. The irony of it is that social media is not social at all. Now, what do I mean by social media is not social? Have you ever been in a scenario where people you call your friends or family, you sit around them and everyone is on their phone? It looks like we are constantly chasing that invisible friend. You have that friend right in front of you, a person who cares for you, a person that you guys can have conversation together. However, you are seeking that abstract friend, a friend that doesn't exist, a friend that is not with you. That is the irony of the whole thing. So the more you try to use social media with the idea of being social, the more unsociable you become. You end up always chasing that invisible or abstract friend because you are all interacting via a screen. And you know the winner in all this is the owners of the social media platforms. You see, truth be told, some of the world's richest men, at least if you take a look at the list, maybe the first 10 richest men in the world all are involved in some form of tech activities or whatsoever. And I can guarantee you that most of these tech companies that they are involved in are usually things that have something or some form of connections with social media, or they are directly the owners of some social media platforms. Have you ever asked yourself how come most of these platforms are free? You see, there is actually a saying that if you are not paying for the product, then you are the product. Now, what do we mean by this? Social media companies kind of make money from all our personal data. I mean, you and I. Yes, you watching me right now. I know you're asking how that is possible or why. Now, your phone tracks your information, or let's say your computer has a way of keeping all your information. They keep track of the kind of things that you search for. And that is why when you open a platform like YouTube, the kind of information that you find on your page is different from my homepage. And let's say you go on Facebook, you go on WhatsApp, any other platform that you go to, no two people's homepages are created equal. Now you are served by the kind of things that you watch. Now, how do they know the kind of things you watch? By tracking your watch history. Now, you may argue that, oh, most of the features, they do have features where you can clear the history. But trust me, never take those words hook, line, and sinker. So in a way, algorithms already know us more than we know ourselves. Have you ever gone on YouTube and you didn't really know what you were looking for, and you just go and you kind of like scroll through the menus and you find a video to watch? For me, that is clearly a sign that an algorithm knows you more than you know yourself, because you didn't even know what you wanted. But the algorithm kind of figured out that you would like that video, and that is why YouTube recommended it to you. So they know you more than you know yourself. So when we hear AI will take over the world, for me, it might not be the way movies have portrayed it, but it's already happening in so many ways. It's not like robots taking over the world like the way it's being shown in movies, but it's already happening in a very, very subtle way. So it is the same thing that most of these multinational corporations kind of counter on. So because Facebook in this sense is free, they'll gather all your data, know the kind of things that you search for, and now then sell that data to advertisers. Let's say, for example, in traditional media, when was the last time you kind of watched a TV and you sat down to watch an advert? Now, that is because you are most likely not to be interested in the product that the TV is talking about. But I can guarantee you that there's another person out there who that advert actually kind of convinced that the person had time to watch it. However, if you strike the average of the number of people who actually watched and those who didn't watch, you realize that those who didn't watch, they far outnumber those that had time to watch that particular advert. So it is not really that effective. Now, with social media marketing, you can do target marketing and know that, let's say, for example, if I am someone who searches for camera information, a camera manufacturer is much more likely to sell their product right to me, because always those are the kind of things that I search for. So the algorithm, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, would most likely know that because I search for this kind of videos, I'm much more likely to make a purchase along those lines. So what do? They pick my data, sell it to this company. Mr. So and so is someone who loves cameras, or Mr. So and so is someone who, loves searching about books. So if you want to sell book, we know the people who want books. So that when the person is putting out the advert, it's not like advertising to someone who does not even need a product. So in a way, you are already in front of your potential, or let's say your serious immediate potential clients. You already know them. And that is how most of these platforms make their money. Now, why is this relevant to our conversation? You see, when a platform like Facebook were looking for a general manager, they did not go in for an artist, someone who could draw, or someone who knew much more about computer. They went in for someone who had a little bit of background on psychology. And this is important because at the end of the day, social media platforms are designed in such a way that they're supposed to captivate you and keep you on the platform, because the longer you stay there, the more money they make. And so they've mastered the art of kind of capturing our attention and making us stay on these platforms. In this case, it's more or less like a psychological thing than it is an art form or a physical thing that you are thinking about. Let's talk about how you make friends online. Let's use a platform like Facebook, for example. You see someone online and you send the person a friend request. The person now decides to accept your friend request or not. And right after that, the person becomes your friend. Now, as to whether you guys have ever had a physical confrontation or whether you've ever met the person before, it's very subjective, because mostly, for example, on my Facebook, I have over 6,000 to 7,000 friends, and I do not really even know all of them. In fact, I'm not even sure I know up to 100 of my friends that I do have on Facebook. But I can guarantee you that if I'm sitting with a family member or I'm sitting with a friend and probably this person sends in a message, the tendency of me picking up my phone to respond to the person to the detriment of the person sitting by me is much more higher, because remember, we've already spoken about the fact that these platforms are very addictive, and that's how they make their money. So they've specialized in the art of kind of captivating our attention or getting our attention in this particular regard. And so being equipped with this information, I feel like it better puts us in a position to be able to judge correctly if we want to say we do not really have friends, because I feel like social media is kind of playing a very key role. So let me give you some tips as to who is your friend. And after applying it, come and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know whether you really do have friends or not. There's currently a bushfire going on over there. I can see the smoke. Anyway, so here are some tips as to know who is your friend or not. Now, friendship is defined by our personal experiences. There are no hard-end rules as to who your friend is. But generally, for me, personally, a friend is just someone who can be there for me. Now, my friendship does not require that we see each other every day, buddies, and the kind of work that I do does not even allow for that. But once our vision kind of align and we do check up on each other once in a while, and I know that kind of person can stand up for me, defends me always, and we put each other on the right track. Now, this is very tricky because I know people who say their friends are jealous of them and all that, but you really need to find a thin line, because the truth can be very painful. Maybe your friend telling you a truth. That does not mean that you guys might not fight once in a while, because you guys will tell each other the truth. But for me, a friend who doesn't really tell me the truth and is only just a praise singer, always singing praises, that kind of person for me is more like a traitor than a friend, because a friend is someone who should be able to tell you the truth at all times. So when you tell me you don't have a friend, probably you really need to check your definition very well, because no matter what, even if you don't have friends, maybe your immediate family members, or even probably your parents, mother, father, uncle, or some strangers that you are staying with may just be your true friend. So just take time and think about it carefully, and you realize that you really do have friends, but oops, it's getting dark. Anyway, they might not really be those kind of friends that the media portrays or you see in TV, buddies who are always hanging out. Maybe the kind of friends you have are totally different, and you just need to take time to observe it and know who is your friend or not. Oops, I've had to crank my ISO up. So that is it. I do hope this video has been very helpful. Let me know your thoughts about this whole topic in the comment section. And just before we go, I have a special announcement to actually make, because throughout the whole of this month, I'm going to be posting hardcore videos on pure filmmaking stuff, and we are also still going to be doing a lot of movie reviews on this channel, so just stay tuned for that. But most importantly, the new series I am going to be introducing for 2023 is actually going to be called Learn from the Pros, or Learn from the Masters. I'm really not too sure of the wording yet, I mean the exact words that I'm going to use for that, but all you should know is that we are going to be reacting to videos that have been posted by other professional filmmakers across the world which have had impact on my career as a filmmaker, and I'm going to be sharing a lot of those on this channel. So if all this sounds interesting, I do much appreciate it if you do click on the subscribe button, make sure to turn on the post notification bell, and make sure to click on all, because trust me, I have a lot in stock for you guys. If you really did enjoy this video, then I do much appreciate it if you do click on the like button, because that goes a long way in helping other people discover this channel right here on YouTube. I really do hope the light didn't drop drastically. As you can see, I have sunset, and yeah, the place is almost getting dark, but I just do hope that you guys really enjoy this video. And I want to catch another siesta, and I'll definitely see you in the next video. Until next time, as always, guys, keep practicing filmmaking. Peace out.